Okay, so today we're going to be reading this story. It's called The Toolbox. Okay. What have you ever helped your parents build something? What did you help him build?
House.
A house. You can build a house. What else can you build?
House.
A house. You're right. You can build a house. And you saw here in my toolkit that I have some tools that you use to build things. We have sandpaper that feels really rough. We have a hammer that you can use, and we have some drills, a tape measure. We're going to be going over all these things when we go over, and a brush as well, okay? So I'm going to start by reading the story, and you're going to be listening while I read the story, and then at the end, we're going to get to do a fun activity, okay? This story is about people who build in our community.
A house.
So who's the people who build the buildings? Do we know? It's a construction worker. Who builds the buildings?
Pig.
Who builds the buildings? A construction worker. Say it with me. A construction worker. Very good. And don't worry, you'll get to go in a second, okay? The Toolbox. This story is written by Jen Voigt. This is Liam. He is working with his dad. His dad has a toolbox. They are building the house. What do they need?
Let's see.
Find out. Let's see.
Table number 1 and 2.
Liam looks in the toolbox. What do they need? They need a tape
And
measure.
number 5.
His dad uses a tape measure to measure the wood. So we're going to use this to measure. Take it out like this and you put it back in. Your turn. Yeah, you use it to measure. What do you use this for? To measure. You're right. Now it's your turn. Take out the tape measure. And what do you use this for?
Measure.
To measure. And here he measured the wood.
So
Okay? Here we go.
you're going to stay here.
Let's look at this. Liam looks in the
Get a
toolbox.
writing, a piece of paper
What do they
from
need?
writing.
They need a saw.
And start
His
writing
dad uses the
words
saw
in
to
English
cut the
and
wood.
Spanish.
I put my saws here. What do you use the saw for? To cut the... You use the saw to cut the wood. Say it with me. Use it to cut the wood. Yeah, so let's cut wood with our saw. There you go. Very nice. All right, you can put it back here. Thank you. Liam looks in the toolkit. What do they need? They need a hammer. His dad uses a hammer to put the wood together. So I give you a hammer, and we use this to put the wood together, okay? And you're going to use a nail, and we're going to put the wood together like this. So now it's your turn to try putting the wood together. Here you go. Very nice. What is this?
A hammer.
A hammer. And what do you use the hammer for? To put the wood together. Say it with me. To put the wood together. You're right. Okay. Now we can put our hammers back in our tool kit. And then we're going to look at the next page. Let's see what it says.
Sit on the 8.
House.
Liam looks in the toolbox. What do they need? They need a drill. His dad uses a drill to make the ladder. What is this called? A drill. You're right. We use the drill to make the ladder. Use that for a second. Yeah, there you go, using your drill. All right, and put them back in our toolbox. Very nice. Let's see what else they're building. Liam looks in the toolbox. What do they need? They need sandpaper. His dad uses sandpaper to make the wood smooth. So here's the sandpaper, and we make the wood smooth with it, okay? There's yours, and here is yours. Go ahead and make the wood smooth. What is this called? It's a sandpaper. You're right. Put it back in the toolkit. Thank you very much. And look over here. Liam looks in the toolbox. What do they need? They need a paintbrush.
Paint.
His dad uses a paintbrush to paint the house. What do you use with a paintbrush? You use it to paint a... What do you paint with a paintbrush?
The house.
A house. You're right. Very good. What do you use a paintbrush for? To paint a
house.
You're right. You use it to paint a house. So you can paint real quick. Then put it back in the toolbox. Awesome job. Give me 5. I like the way you follow directions. Okay. Liam and his dad look in the treehouse. They are finished. Liam can't wait to play in his treehouse. Just like Liam and his dad, construction workers make houses and buildings for people to live and to work. Yeah, so construction workers are the people who make those houses and buildings.
Wow.
These are the buildings and houses you see in the city. You'll see there, these are the buildings and houses we'll see. And doctors work here, your teachers work in buildings, right? These are all things that you can build
See the nails,
with your
isn't it?
toolbox. Remember, we're using our English right now, okay? The construction workers build the buildings, okay? And so today we're gonna get to make our own city and make our own buildings too. So this is my building that I made, and you're gonna get to make one by yourself, okay? So remember, we're using English, and we're gonna make our building. What are we gonna be making? Building, yeah, and we're gonna be using our construction
Yeah,
tools to make our building. We're gonna paint it too, okay? So here you go. You're gonna get your piece of construction first, and then here's yours. Okay? And what you're gonna do first, I want you to put a little line of glue up here. So I'll give it to you, and then you'll pass it right here at the top. Very nice. And then put your other paper on top and pat, pat, pat. And then put, good, pat, pat, pat. A little line. Remember, you're using the glue side. And you're gonna put your paper at the top, and you're gonna pat, pat, pat. Very good. Now we're gonna use our, what are these called? Paintbrush. Say it with me, paintbrush. Very good. We're gonna use our paintbrushes to paint the building. So you're just gonna paint on over, here you go. And I'm gonna find you your paintbrush so you can paint the building. Or if not, we can take turns. Very good. You can have the paintbrush here. All right, and pass it back to me. Nice job painting. And now we're gonna build our windows. So you're gonna take the hammer and you're gonna hammer in so we can have a spot for our windows. Here you go. Go ahead and get started. And then here you go. Go ahead and get started. Go ahead and hammer in. Very, very nice.
It was the marker.
And I have a marker for us to use at the end. Good question, okay? All right, you can put it back into the toolbox. And now I'm gonna give you the windows so you can put them on your building, okay? Here's some for you, and here's some for you. Remember, your building is standing tall, so you wanna leave it this way.
Like this?
Yep, and I'm gonna go find you another little glue so we don't have to share.
Glue. Glue.
Say, I need some glue. Okay, there you go. And stick them on there. And then when we finish, we will have made our city buildings, okay? What do we need to build the buildings? We need tools. What do we need to build the buildings? Tools. We need tools to build the buildings. Okay, you can share when he's finished, okay? That's fine. Go to another one, okay? Alrighty. What is this? A tool. What do you use a tool for? You use it to make
A house?
a house or a building. Very nice job. Okay, and let me see. I'm going to ask him a question. What is this?
Paint.
A paintbrush. Say it with me. Paintbrush.
Paintbrush.
What do you use the paintbrush for? To make a
Paint.
building.
Brilliant.
A building. Yeah, you make a building like the one you're making now. Very nice job. Give me 5. I love the way you're working. Keep finishing your buildings, and then we'll put them outside when you're done, okay?